And good evening. I'd like to call the City Council of the City of Lenoir to order. Wait just a minute. I've lost my agenda. There it is on here. And welcome you to our council meeting for Tuesday, November the 3rd, 2020. We welcome you here on Election Day. We hope everybody that has voted. If you hadn't, you've got roughly another hour and a half after you leave here to be able to go vote. If you haven't done that, I think it's been extended. Someone told me to 8 something tonight.
Some counties, but I don't think here.
No, Johnny Potter, Commissioner Potter told me it had been extended here. Now, I don't know if it is, but so we'll see about that. But it's some problem they had across the state. But anyway, hope everyone will exercise their right to vote. As we get started in a few minutes with our moment of silence, and we will remain standing for our pledge in just a minute, I would like to mention a couple things to bring to your attention. Again, we will ask you to continue your prayers for all those who are battling this pandemic on our front lines and those who take care of us every day, our hospital and nurses and doctors and those who are firemen, policemen, and emergency people all over who are doing their jobs, and we appreciate all they do. I know this past week we had a lot that were involved with several things going on. We had some power outages and tree limbs and flooding and all kind of things happening. We appreciate all the hard work that our people here in our city did to move those things as fast as they could and around the county. So we thank you for that. Please keep in mind Mr. Alan Stewart. Alan is an alderman from the Cages Mountain, town of Cages Mountain, and also was a charter member of our Lenoir Business Advisory Board, and he is not doing well, we understand. So please keep Alan and his wife and his family in your thoughts and prayers over these next trying days for them. So we hope everything will turn out, but the reports have not been great so far. So please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And I'll give you a good note. Sitting next to me is Granddad Todd Perdue, who had his second grandchild, son Ben and wife Molly.
Yep.
And congratulations
Thank
to
you for
you
that.
for that. The little girl.
Little girl.
And everything seems to be going well, so we're excited about that. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they move forward with this new baby in their lives. So if you will, please join me now as we stand to have our moment of silence, and we'll remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. We salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Got everybody on that one. Got a delay here. Got a delay. That's good. Okay, before we get started, I do need to do a roll call of everyone that not only is here with us in the room, that's a part of the meeting, and those that are on our Zoom call as well. And I will do that now. We'll start Councilmember David Stevens, Councilmember Ben Willis, Mayor Pro Tem Chrissy Thomas, myself, Councilmember Todd Perdue, Councilmember Ike Perkins, Councilmember Ralph Presswood, City Manager Scott Hildebrand, Joshua Harris, our Communications Director, are all here. Councilmember Jonathan Beal is on Zoom.
Here.
Thank you, sir. City Attorney T.J. Rohr.
I'm here.
Thank you, sir. City Clerk Shirley Cannon. I know she's here. Finance Director Donna Bean.
Here.
Our Fire Chief Ken Hare.
I'm here.
Economic Development Director at Main Street Kaylin Horn.
I'm here.
Police Chief Brent Phelps.
Here.
Our Parks and Recreation Director Kenny Story. Saw Kenny on there.
He's here.
I'm here.
Okay. Public Utilities Director Radford Thomas.
I'm here.
Our Planning Director Jenny Wheelock.
I'm here.
Thank you. And our Public Works Director, Jared Wright.
I'm here.
Thank you all. I think we've got everybody covered. I don't know if there's anybody on the press that's here at this time. Do we know? Okay. We'll check that out later then. Thank you. We appreciate it. As we get started tonight, we do have a couple of special recognitions, and I'm going to come down and do that, and we'll start with the Caldwell Hospice and Palliative Care, proclaiming the month of November 2020 as National Hospice and Palliative Care Month throughout the city of Lenoir. So come down, and I'll ask Lisa Caviness if she will join me. How are y'all? Good, doing great. This is National Hospice and Palliative Care Month for November 2020. I'll read this proclamation and we'll present it to you. Whereas for more than 40 years, hospice has helped provide comfort and dignity to millions of people, allowing them to spend their final months at home surrounded by their loved ones. Whereas the hospice model involves an interdisciplinary, team-oriented approach to treatment, including expert medical care, quality symptom control, and comprehensive pain management as a foundation of care. Whereas beyond providing physical treatment, hospice attends to the patient's emotional, spiritual, and family needs and provides family services like respite care and bereavement counseling. Whereas palliative care delivers expertise to improve quality of life and relief from pain, can be provided at any time during an illness, and hospices are some of the best providers of community-based palliative care. Whereas in an increasingly fragmented and broken care system, hospice is one of the few sectors that demonstrates how health care can and should work at its best for its patient. Whereas every year, 1.5 million Americans living with life-limiting illness and their families receive care from the nation's hospice programs and communities throughout the United States. Whereas hospice and palliative care organizations are advocates and educators about advanced care planning that help individuals make decisions about the care they want. Whereas the Centers for Medical and Medicare and Medicaid Services have pledged to put patients first in all of its programs, including hospice, ensuring a coordinated and patient-led approach to care, protecting patient choice and access to individualized services based on a patient's unique care needs and wishes. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, by virtue of the authority invested in me by the City of Lenoir, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim November 2020 as National Hospice and Palliative Care Month and encourage citizens to increase their understanding and awareness of care at the end of life, discuss their end-of-life wishes with their families, and observe this month with appropriate activities and programs, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this the third day of November 2020 and cause this seal to be affixed. Thank you very much, Lisa. And congratulations. Let's do that. I will present this to you. We'll get some pictures of this.
Let's go up front for the picture.
Okay, let's go up this way. And we'll get the council to come in with us here.
You're the man.
Come on in, everybody. Can you get in?
Let's take turns. Yeah, you go first. Go ahead. All right, ready?
All right, keep taking.
I'm smiling.
Me too.
Everybody smile. We'll keep improving. You can smile.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. 1, 2, 3. Good. More the better.
3, 2, 1. Couple more.
Congratulations. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
We can always say thank you for all that hospice does in our community and has for over 40 years. here. We're very honored that we have such a wonderful hospice, and it is a wonderful program. The expansion from the Harper home down to Hudson, where it is now, has just made it wonderful for people to have that opportunity, and we thank you for all you do. Both my mom and dad were there in their final days, so I know well what it can mean. So
Well, I appreciate your support. We couldn't do it without our community support.
thank you. We appreciate
I
that.
don't know if you could look at any of these folks. We've all had family members who've been.
That's right.
And there's two different ones. That's from this is one on our stationery as well.
Oh, thank
So
you.
we did one for both.
Well, I see familiar faces here, so, I mean, the support is very broad, and we're very appreciative of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for being with us. And our second one tonight is Proclamation for Giving Tuesday. And I'm going to ask Katie Tosi to join me.
Now, bring an entourage, so I'm gonna have to.
Josh will take pictures for you.
He can shoot pictures, and he can shoot with yours if you need to.
You wanna take video?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna video it for you.
Okay, awesome.
Katie is the Executive Director of Teacher Treasures, and I know you also serve on the Communities and Schools Board and probably several others. But thank you. Several years ago, Giving Tuesday was established and has been a wonderful thing to give our community an opportunity in this next month of November and December and on even further to donate and help with to their charities of their choices. And we appreciate this. I know Kenbian Ferguson has been well involved in this, and we appreciate that. So I'm going to present this, and I'll read it for you. Whereas Giving Tuesday was established as a national day of giving on the Tuesday following Thanksgiving, and whereas Giving Tuesday is a celebration of philanthropy and volunteerism where people give whatever they are able to give, and whereas Giving Tuesday is a day where citizens work together to share commitments, rally for favorite causes, build a stronger community, and think about other people. And whereas it is fitting and proper on Giving Tuesday and on every day to recognize the tremendous impact of philanthropy, volunteerism, and community service in the city of Lenoir and Caldwell County. And whereas Giving Tuesday is an opportunity to encourage citizens to serve others throughout this holiday season and during all other times of the year. Now, therefore, I, as mayor of the city of Lenoir, North Carolina, and on behalf of our city council, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, December the 1st, 2020 as Giving Tuesday throughout the city of Lenoir and Caldwell County, and encourage all citizens to join together to give back to the community in any way that is personally meaningful. In witness, I have here set our hand on the seal of the city of Lenoir to be affixed this, the third day of November 2020. Katie, thank you very much. And we'll shoot a picture as well with the council if we can. And then if you'd like to make some remarks, you're welcome to do so.
All right. I'm gonna get a couple with this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
I want your light shine on my head.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
You shine off Ike's head, not yours.
Careful, let me videotape what you said too. I stopped it.
I just want to say on behalf, I think I could probably speak on behalf of all of the nonprofits in Caldwell County that we are blessed beyond measure to have the support that we do from this community. And as far as Teacher Treasures is concerned, I appreciate the support of a lot of familiar faces here and even on the screen. So thank you for your continued support during a very difficult and uncertain time. The nonprofits all thank you, the City Council, the entire community for what you do to continue giving even when we're not sure what tomorrow looks like. So thank you. And thank you for this. We'll make sure that everyone out there knows how to give.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Katie, for joining us tonight and for what you do at Teacher Treasures. That's a wonderful resource, especially with what's going on in our school system right now and an ability to be able to get to supplies for teachers and for students. It's open, I know, for a lot of different things. So thank you for that. And we'll help encourage that all we can for people to come. So also tonight, we, as you received, we thanked Kaylin Horn, our Main Street Director, for the Count on Me NC mask that we all have here. We appreciate that very much. Kaylin for reaching out and delivering those to the council, and I know they will be going to our businesses across the community. Councilmember Stevens has one on right now, so we appreciate that, and so we will do that, and we would glad to be a part of the Count on Me NC program as we move forward. So thank you for thinking of that and presenting those to our community. We'll move on then in our meeting. We do not have matters scheduled for public hearing this evening, so we'll move to the consent agenda items consisting of minutes of our city council meeting of Tuesday, October 20th, 2020 as submitted. We have minutes of our committee of the whole meeting of Tuesday, October 27th as submitted. We have the proclamation we presented tonight for Giving Tuesday, approval of the proclamation proclaiming Tuesday, December 1st as Giving Tuesday throughout the city of Lenoir. There is a note, but I'm not going to read all of that to that. Item D is the proclamation for National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, November 2020, and approval of this proclamation proclaiming that month of November as National Hospice and Palliative Care Month throughout the city of Lenoir. So items A through D are presented to you for your discussion and or motion on the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through D as presented.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Thomas makes a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through D as presented. If there's no other discussion or questions, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And on the phone, Mr. Beal? Is he still with us?
Wake up, John.
Hang on, he's on the mute. Let me get it.
Jonathan Beal, aye.
Okay, thank you, sir. And that is approved. We appreciate that very much. All right, we'll move on then. We do, let's see, if we have any requests or petitions of any citizens. Don't know of anyone who is here to join us tonight. Mr. Harris, you hadn't said, okay, thank you. We'll move on. Anybody on the Zoom call that would like to address the council? If not, we'll move on. We do not have any reports from our boards and commissions this evening, so we'll move on to the report and recommendations of the city manager, Mr. Hildebrand.
Mayor, council, tonight, just have a couple items for information for you. City offices will be closed on Wednesday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day, and then also on Thursday, November 26th and Friday, November 27th in observance of Thanksgiving. The Veterans Day Memorial Service will be held on Wednesday, November 11th at the Plaza. Not sure about the time on that. The ABC Board will meet on November 12th at 2 o'clock in a virtual meeting. The Lenoir Business Advisory Board will conduct a virtual meeting on Thursday, November 12th at 6 p.m. And also our events in lieu of Light Up Lenoir. This year we'll have a large Christmas tree placed downtown on the square. Also, the Hope Shines Brightly Holiday Light Show will begin on Friday, November 20th at 6 p.m. to 10 o'clock nightly and will run through January. Also, the annual luminary display at Blue Ridge Memorial Park will be held on Friday, December 11th from 6 to 10 p.m. and the rain date for that is Friday, December 18th. Also note that council, we have no more meetings this month, but our next meeting will be a work session for council to go take the training from the police department at Troy's Gate, and we'll get information to you on that. That'll be on the 24th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And I think from my notes, that's all I have.
We'll make a change. The Veterans Day has been changed from the square. It will be at the Legion building. On that, it will be limited, of course, to the number of people that will be there with all the masks and all the things you're supposed to be doing on that. So I was contacted this week about that. Other than that, I was trying to think, is there any other announcements? Anybody on Zoom have anything they would like to bring before the council concerning upcoming meetings or discussion?
That's all we have.
Okay, don't see anybody. All right. We'll move on then to report and recommendations of our city attorney. Mr. Rohr, you have anything?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I do have the mayor's office, one board announcement. Would like to recommend that Shauna Banner be reappointed to serve a 2-year term on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Shauna has already been serving and has done a really good job with it, enjoys her service on that, and has been a good board member as part of it. So I would recommend that she be reappointed to serve on this, and we brought that up first at our October 20th meeting, as we normally do, wait 2 weeks before we actually make the recommendation of appointment, and that has been done. So I would bring that to your consideration for her to be approved. Need a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion from Councilmember Willis to approve Shauna Banner for the term on the Parks and Recreation Board. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
On the phone.
Aye, Johnson Bill.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And then we'll move on. Is there any report or recommendations from any of our council members this evening? Yes, sir.
I have something I'd like to share, and I'd like to read. While today our country decides the leadership that will guide our nation over the next 4 years, I've been thinking a lot recently about where we are as a nation. Our country today is vastly different than it was 10, even 5 years ago. Technology has allowed us to communicate more quickly and more easily, and medical advancements allow us to live longer, healthier lives. Sadly, however, it's a country that's as divided as ever before, certainly at least in my lifetime. It's a country that no longer is tolerant of differing views on a myriad of social, legal, political, and religious issues. While there's always been disagreements between opposing sides on policy issues and personal beliefs, the climate in our country now creates enemies of those who have a different viewpoint. The conventional wisdom is now one of, if you disagree with me, then you are my enemy. Gone are the days of deliberate, civilized, respectful debate between both sides. Gone are the days when we have eloquent, respected orators and leaders in Washington and in state houses and senates who can express a position without name-calling and belittling those who may disagree. Gone are the days when you stood your ground on an issue, and if it did not go your way when the votes were tallied, then you took your medicine and rallied around the decision. Gone are the days when victory was measured in how a particular decision benefited or protected the people of this great country instead of being measured as a win for a political party. It seems more and more leaders in Washington and Raleigh care more about how a decision impacts the party versus how it impacts the citizens whom they swore an oath to serve. Today we live in a country where leaders promise retribution against those who think differently than they do. We live in an America where millions have their opinions formed or for them by the talking heads on cable news and talk radio instead of investigating, carefully debating, and forming an intelligent opinion of their own. And sadly, we live in a world, not just the United States, but in a world that is in the grips of an unprecedented health crisis. Even with millions in our country who have contracted COVID-19, the hundreds of thousands of Americans who have died from the disease, and the untold physical and mental toll this disease has inflicted upon survivors, family members, and caregivers, we cannot even come to a consensus about how to best address the issue and the best course of action without belittling one another. Lies and misinformation abound, and the pandemic has turned into a political play instead of being treated as what it is, the most pressing and critical health emergency this country has seen in over 100 years. Now, please don't get me wrong. Even with the current environment we find ourselves in, I have hope. A hope where tolerance, compassion, courage, dedication to, and respect for our fellow man, and a rekindling of the American spirit can guide us back along the path towards what makes America such a great and respected country. It's not a Republican spirit. It's not a Democrat spirit. It's the American spirit. Cooperation and compromise in governance can exist, and you need to look no further than these people sitting right here behind this board and Jonathan out there in Zoom land. You need to look no further than this board here tonight. We're black, we're white, we're Republican, we're Democrat, we're independent, we're female, we're male, and we hail from a variety of religious affiliations and educational backgrounds. Yet we get our work done, and we do it justly and with civility, compassion, and dedication. Why? Because we respect one another and we're dedicated to serving those who put us here and not some national ideal or political platform. I'm so proud of that. While the polls have closed or soon will close and the votes are being counted, regardless of how 2020 election turns out, I hope that Americans can take this opportunity to look inward and ask themselves a few questions. Is the place we are in really what I want for our country? Am I doing everything that I can do to make this country and world a better place? And listen to the words of the late John Lewis, former congressman who recently passed away from Georgia. When you see something that's not right, not just, not fair, you have a moral obligation to say something. Our children and their children will ask us, what did you do? What did you say? And what will you tell them? Thank you for letting me read that.
Thank you for
Thank you.
for that. What you have stated is very, very, very true. Great statement, and thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that about this council.
Well, that's I got to looking at where things are, and I'm not throwing dirt on any one party, I'm throwing dirt at both of them. And I know how government can work, because I see it here. And it's because we leave all the other periphery at the door, and we come here and we get our work done. We don't always agree, but we get along, and we don't let it linger out there. So I just wanted to let this board know, after 17 years, how proud I am to be on this board with this group.
Amen.
I agree with you 100%. I'm proud to be a part of it as well, and thank you for what you said. That's one thing we all can be proud of, that we are one of the councils across the state of North Carolina especially, which we know so much about, that gets along better than many others do.
Amen.
Washington could learn
In
a
our
lesson
state,
from
and
us.
we have kind of
Good.
become a poster child for a lot of communities. How do you do what you do? And it's because we work together. And I think that's a great tribute to all of us and to all of this council and to our community, our leaders, our city manager, and our great department heads who help us lead this city in so many ways. We all find a way to work together, and we appreciate that. Yeah, we do.
We need a motion on that?
Not the motion on that.
I just want to pass a plate.
Come,
I started to say, that's a good sermon, right?
Amen. You gonna borrow that?
Pass that on.
Pass that. Amen.
That may be a sermon for Mount
Bill started to say, some of you will be hearing that again on Sunday.
That's
Thank you for
true.
that. That was very, very well done.
Thank you.
Councilman Perdue, we appreciate that and that feeling. Anyone else on the council have anything to say tonight or add to? Again, we appreciate all that's done, since we will not be meeting the rest of November, so we will say happy Thanksgiving to everyone tonight, and hope that you all have some good holidays. We will be meeting, I guess, for our to get together with our police training.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, in November, up in November. No committee to hold, and that will be its place. And then we'll be back in early December for that as we move forward. But if anything comes up, we certainly will be there to answer anything, do anything we have to do, and we'll be open for the business that we have to conduct as always. So thank you all for being with us tonight. If there's nothing else to come before us, we stand adjourned.